Hey there, survivors. Cougar here, pulling together what we know so far about the upcoming Subnautica expansion, Below Zero. Now, I'd like to think that it goes without saying that this video will contain spoilers about Below Zero, but you never know, so this video will contain spoilers about the creatures, vehicles, and plot of Below Zero. If you don't want to know this stuff, don't watch this video. And of course, all this is subject to change, right down to the names of the protagonist and creatures. Most of the stuff that you're going to see here was pulled off the Subnautica Below Zero Trello page and the developer's Twitter. I'm just trying to put it all together in one place so that everything we know as of November 2018 is here for people who don't want to page through dozens of cards on the Trello looking for the cool bits. So let's get started. Subnautica Below Zero will be a standalone, single-player expansion that takes place on the same planet, but a few months later than the events of the original game. And we'll be in a new region, the Arctic region. This region will be significantly smaller than the original game, as you would expect from an expansion. You see a rough map here of what the area is going to look like. You play as a female protagonist, tentatively named Robin. Robin is a scientist sent back to the planet by Altera to do more research. Something goes wrong on the surface and you're forced underwater, where you discover more information about the precursor race. But you do start out on the surface, where weather and temperature will be a big factor. You can take shelter in caves and habitats, but if you get too cold, you die. Let's take a look at some of the weather effects that they're working on here. Now I'm going to put up this HUD display here. This is a rough sketch of the new HUD display, and this is supposed to change. But if you look at the upper right here, I think that the buffs category would be something like hot stuff like coffee, or a new thing called heating gel that's made from heating plants that will help keep you warm. Then you've got a forecast warning you of storms incoming once you get a weather station built, and your overall temperature. If you get too cold, obviously you start taking damage and you will die. On the surface, you'll build a rocket platform right off the bat, and you'll be using it to send scientific samples up to the Vesper station in orbit. We've got a couple of development vids here of the rocket launching. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, the end of this second vid, you'll see the Vesper station in orbit. In exchange, the Vesper will send you supply drops, which will include new blueprints for stuff like the hover bike and the Ctruck. You're going to use the hover bike to get around on the surface. We've got an early demo here of how the bike will behave. One showing you on the bike, and then one showing you just how the hover action will work. We also have a Ctruck. The Ctruck will have a cab section that operates almost like a Seamoth, but then you can attach modules to it to make it more Cyclops-like. Let's take a minute to watch some of this Ctruck development video. We'll also see updates, improvements, and additions to base construction. We've got a new glass roof for the multi-purpose room. That's fantastic. And a jukebox. We've also got a base control room that lets you monitor your power usage, your base's structural integrity, the in-game time, and once you've built a weather station, surface and water temperatures and conditions. You'll also be able to power and unpower specific sections of the base and change the color of the base itself. Above the ice, we'll see these terrifying penguin-like creatures, adults and babies. Pinacarids are seal-like creatures. We have an early video showing work being done on its animations. You can imagine that the size of these creatures will probably change. These are probably just scaled-down versions. Snow Stalkers, I imagine, are polar bear-like creatures. We don't have a lot of information on those. Ice worms, we have no visuals yet, but they'll apparently make the ground shake before popping up through the ice and feeding on whatever they find up there. Moving on, we've got the Arctic Ray, the Brine Wig, which will shoot a super cold jet of brine at its prey to flash freeze it, the Brute Shark, the Glow Whale, which will probably be Leviathan class. We actually have some video of the Glow Whale in action, so let's watch. We have the Lilypad. We've got some early video of this creature, but again, it may be bigger. I think based on the concept art, we can imagine it be bigger, maybe shark-sized. We've got the spinnerfish. Here's the concept art, and here's what it will look like in-game. We've got the squid shark. Again, here's the concept art. And then we've got a low poly model here. We've got the Symbiote Fish, and here's the concept art, here's the in-game model, and here are some animations to go with it. We've got the Titan Whole Fish, larger than a man. We've got these trivalves, not much information on them yet. The Rock Puncher is back. Fantastic. We've got some early video of work being done on the Rock Puncher. So that's about it, guys. That's what we know so far about Subnautica Below Zero. I'll provide updates as we go along, and of course, I will be playing Below Zero when it finally releases in spring of 2019. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with more updates as warranted. Stay warm, survivors.